And God reminded me in that moment, like, I am leading and guiding you. I'm greater than anyone involved. I'm bigger than any problem that's involved because I'm God. And everything is working out for you, Joy, is what I heard in that moment. So I'm saying it to you for the people that may feel like you're losing. It may look like to other people that you're folding and you're weak, but you're not. God is saying, I'm here for you. I am here for you, and I'm greater. I'm greater. Trust my timing. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, hey. It's Joy. It's Joy. It's Joy. Welcome back to another moment with Joy. And I am your host. If this is your first time, I am Joy Rivers, certified life coach, and I was created just for you to help you navigate on this journey we call life. Okay. And I want you to make sure before we start this beautiful episode that you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to be getting this love every Tuesday and Thursday when we drop a video, okay? And today is just like every other day. This is our moment to evolve, to transform, to heal, to do all the things together in a safe and sacred space. And I couldn't be more grateful for you to be here, for me to share time and space with you. Okay, so thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you. And today we are diving into a topic that I believe, resonates with us all. And we are talking about trusting God's timing. And it's so easy to have faith when everything is going well. And it's so easy to have faith when things are working out for you and you can physically see them. But what about those seasons when it feels like nothing's happening? When it seems like we're losing, when it seems like God isn't moving at all on our behalf? How can we find peace in the storm and emerge with more wisdom? So today, I'm going to be answering all those questions. We're going to explore them and discover 3 reasons why we should start trusting in God's timing. So I need you to grab your tea, grab your journal. Yes, grab your journal and find you a cozy spot, and let's dive into this episode, okay? So today, trusting God's timing is something that we all need to start learning to do, start embracing, start accepting. And have you ever found yourself in a place where you're waiting for something to happen? Like maybe it's a job opportunity, you're waiting on them to call you back. Maybe it's a breakthrough in a relationship. Maybe it's a solution to a problem or situation that's been going on. Or maybe just you're like, I'm waiting on this dark season to be done. I'm done with it. I'm tired. Or you may be simply just waiting on a sense of purpose in your life. You're just waiting. And in these moments of waiting, that's when our trust in God is tested the most. It's truly tested in those waiting moments. Trusting His timing can be the most difficult thing to do. And we don't talk about that often, but it's difficult to wait on God. It is not as easy as most people make it seem. So I'm here to tell you it's normal to say, why? What is all of this? What's this for? Even if you know your word, even if the word is hid in your heart, there are moments where the test in that season can be so long where you like, wait a minute, you start questioning things, right? And it's difficult, but I am here to tell you today that it's also the most rewarding thing you could ever do. And I'm talking to myself. I'm not just talking to you because y'all know this is our moment to evolve. So why should we trust God's timing? God's timing refers to the concept, if you do not know, it refers to the concept that God has a specific plan and a perfect plan for each of us. Okay. And that plan unfolds according to His schedule, to God's schedule. And that means God knows the best time, the sequence for events to occur in our lives, even when we may not understand or agree with any of that timing. And normally, I know for me, it'd be a little off sometimes. And I'd be like, God, come on, send me some relief. And we may not understand or agree with this timing from a human perspective, but I'm here to tell you we got to start digging in, okay? And God's timing often involves waiting, patience, and trust. It requires us to surrender our own desires and expectations. And instead of, you know, relying on our own knowledge, we have to rely on God's wisdom and guidance. God's wisdom and guidance, and God is within us. So we got to start going in. And sometimes that means when we trust His guidance and we trust God, it means that certain doors may be closed or delays may occur. But ultimately, it is believed that God's timing, and I believe this because it's worked in my life, right? That God's timing is always for our ultimate good and aligns with God's perfect will for us, okay? So why should we trust God's time and joy? Why? Why I gotta stay? Why I gotta do this? Reason number one is God's perspective is perfect. His perspective is perfect. When we're caught up in a whirlwind of our own lives, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We're limited by space and time, but God sees the entire picture from beginning to end. He sees it, and He knows the perfect timing for every event, for every breakthrough, for every blessing. And we have to start trusting in that. And when we trust in that, we surrender our need for control and we allow His divine perspective to guide us, His wisdom to guide us, okay? Remember, God's timing is never late, because we could think that. We could be asking for something and it seems like it ain't coming, okay? It's always right on time, no matter what you're going through. And there's a Bible story in which reminds me of this, right? And it's the story of Joseph. And I spoke about this in a few episodes prior, because Joseph's story is one that I think everyone should go read. And if you do not know it, I'm not going to dive too deep. I just want to talk about it a little bit. And the Bible verse within that story that resonates in this moment and with me was, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for my good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. And that's in the book of Genesis 50th chapter 20th verse. Y'all go read that on your own and study, okay? Through Joseph's story, though, we see that God's perspective is perfect. Joseph had to endure years of slavery and imprisonment, y'all. They lied on him. They lied on this man. And first his family put him in slavery. They sold him off. And then he got to the palace, right? And they had to throw him in prison because the lady lied on him. And y'all, I'm giving y'all a little my version. The lady had lied on him and said he was trying to do something, and she lied, and so they threw him in prison. So the man was lied on and completely ignored, right? But God was with him every step of the way in this story. God used Joseph's difficult circumstances to position him in a place of influence. That mug was in prison, read and interpreted the dreams of the two prisoners that were with him, so much so that when one of the prisoners got out and got promoted to this place, these people couldn't read the king's dreams. They couldn't interpret his dreams for nothing. And this is me paraphrasing. But the man remembered that prisoner down there with me, Joseph, he could interpret some dreams. So he became, God positioned him in a place of influence, and ultimately it saved his whole family, because once he read the king, he interpreted the king's dreams, they pushed him up and promoted him into a position that allowed him to save his family and others from this famine, because he saw that there was a famine coming, and he was able to warn the king, so everyone was ready, right? And his family, the ones that sold him off, came back to eat, and he fed them. Okay? So like Joseph, when we trust in God's time, and Joseph didn't buckle because he was in prison. He used all his gifts, and he leaned on God, and he remembered, like, God knows what's going on. So I'm gonna stay this course. Okay? And he surrendered his need for control, and he found peace and allowed God's perspective to guide him. And that's what happened. And even when life seems uncertain to us in this day and age, when everything and everyone around us that we thought we could trust, we thought we could love on, we thought that they would have our backs, won't, we have to continue to be certain in the things that we know, which is God has a plan. He's working for me. And we can take comfort in knowing that God sees the entire picture of our lives and is working it all together for our good. God's perspective is perfect, y'all. Can write that down. God's perspective is perfect. And God is within you, and you can never be separate from that, meaning it's going to work out. So that's the first reason, y'all. His perspective is perfect. So we got to trust that, okay? Reason number 2, Joy, why should we be trusting God's time and when it's so long sometimes? Because God is preparing us, and it takes time to prepare us. Just like a skilled craftsman who meticulously shapes a piece of art, a painter who paints on a canvas, God is working behind the scenes, molding and refining us for the blessings that lie ahead for us. In those seasons when it seems like nothing's happening, when we feel stuck and stagnant, God is using those moments to cultivate our character, to strengthen our faith, and to equip us for the purpose that is about to happen. Although you seem real far from your destiny, far from the goal, God is working it out. It's in the waiting that we discover our true selves and learn valuable lessons that will propel us forward when the time is right. Right? So there's another Bible story, because y'all, we in Bible study today, okay? Because of course I'm a PK, y'all know this. So a lot of Bible stories came to me when I was studying this, because there's just no other blueprint that I know my life, follows. And the story of Moses was one of those where he prepared Moses for this, like prepared Moses to lead, y'all, like from the basket to the palace to leading his people out of Egypt. Moses' story reminds me, and should remind us, that God's preparation often occurs in the waiting and the seemingly day-to-day things of our lives that we just overlook. He uses those seasons to mold our character, deepen our faith, and equip us for the task that he has planned for us, okay? And just like that craftsman that I said, he's shaping us. God is intricately working in our lives, preparing us for the blessings and purposes that lie ahead. And when the time is right, he will call on us to action just like he did Moses. And Moses went over Moses didn't even want to do it because he had a stutter. That's number 1. So imposter syndrome was huge for Moses. And God was like, no, go. That's preparing. That's what God does a lot with us in that waiting season. He didn't just give Moses the promise. Moses actually killed somebody, went off running, and God still chose to use him. And in that hiding in Midian, God changed this whole murderer into a leader. And he says, I'm going to use you. And it's in those waiting moments, in those 40 years that seem so long, that no, your destiny didn't go to the ground and disappear. No, God still is holding it just like this. It's us who dropped that, not him. And when the time was right, Moses was called to action and he showed up. Okay? And that's what that story reminds me of. Even though it took years, God prepared it. Okay, prepared him. And that's what he's doing with us in this moment. And all that we have learned and experienced in this waiting will propel us forward into fulfilling our God-given destiny. Hey, y'all, I got a special announcement. I got journals. I know y'all ain't excited as me, but y'all know y'all just as excited as me, because you get to start your spiritual journaling practice today with these beautiful journals. And these were curated with love for the spiritual seeker in you. And as a life coach, y'all, I believe that journaling is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and transformation. My journals are designed to help you deepen your connection with your inner self and with the divine, to explore your spirituality, to align your life with the highest purpose. That's what these journals are going to do. Okay? Each journal is infused with positive affirmations, inspirational quotes by me, Joy River, and 2 thought-provoking journal prompts to help you tap into your intuition and unlock your inner wisdom. Okay? So whether you're looking to deepen your spiritual practice, cultivate gratitude, or simply just connect with your higher self, my journals are perfect for that. Okay? And you're going to have 2 journal prompts that will lead you and guide you in the way of writing. Okay? And the rest of the book is just for you. It's just for you to write your thoughts however you feel them, whenever you feel them. It's a safe place just for you, okay? This is a perfect companion for your spiritual journey. Why not start today? Go to Amazon right now You can get this book right now on Amazon, okay? The link is in the bio. You can go to my website and get the link as well, or you can go over to YouTube at The Couch with Joy and Friends and find the link in every description of the YouTubes and the episodes, okay? So go get your journal today. And all my close friends, y'all already know this face. This is Mary Elise. She did the journal cover for this book, and I could not be more grateful to my best friend for letting me put her painting, her artwork, her stamp on my journal. It's lit. Y'all go get the journal, and I promise you, you're going to read the quotes that are on the inside. You're going to love it. Okay? Get your journal today. Thank you. Peace. So know that in God's timing, it's not punishment. It's not, I forgot about you. I'm going on to somebody better. No. In that waiting, you're being prepared for a purpose, for your destiny, and to fulfill it. You're being equipped with everything you need. When you come out of that season of waiting, it's time to work, okay? So that is another reason why we need to start trusting in God's timing. What's another one? Reason number 3, y'all. Why should we trust God's time and joy? Because God's plans are greater and bigger than ours. He never thinks like we think. God never, it's always higher. It's always bigger. It's always bigger. So I've been in a rough season for the past few months, and uncertainty has been so close to me, and I've been very, very quiet about it. So I make sure that in my meditation time that I'm releasing. And I know most of us do that. When we go through something, we don't really talk about it because it's like, let me figure this out. And my space to just talk is my meditation and yoga when I'm doing my breathing and everything. And that's where I'm in this moment with God and I let it all out. And in this moment this morning, I'm just like, God, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, God, I trust you. But this test, this is hard. This is hard for me. And today it's harder than it's ever been. And I lay there with my hand over my heart because it's hurting so bad. And I'm saying to God, like, what is it that you're going to show me? What is it that I'm supposed to learn? Because what you're testing me in, you could have tested me in any other area, God, but you tested me in this. And this thing is my life. This is what I love the most. This is what I cherish the most. This is what I put above everything else in my whole existence. This thing is big to me, and it's like you're ripping it from me. And God literally just says, I'm bigger. I'm greater than that. I'm bigger than that. Because the thing that we think is the most important, the thing that we feel like we cannot let go of, God is like, I'm greater than that. And I'm bigger than anything, and I'm greater than anyone. And that is what you learn when you start trusting His timing and not believing what it looks like. And God reminded me in that moment, like, I am leading and guiding you. I'm greater than anyone involved. I'm bigger than any problem that's involved because I'm God. And everything is working out for you, Joy, is what I heard in that moment. So I'm saying it to you for the people that may feel like you're losing. It may look like to other people that you're folding and you're weak, but you're not. God is saying, I'm here for you. I am here for you, and I'm greater. I'm greater. Trust my timing. Okay, and I wanted to say that to everyone listening, because sometimes it can get so hard, y'all. Life can get so hard, and even in the season where people should be celebrating and being happy, sometimes it's just not that. So I want you to know that trusting God's timing will allow you to get this wisdom, this love, this resilience, this strength, this power from God that you didn't even think was possible to attain. Okay? So y'all, we may have our own timelines, our own expectations, but God's plans exceed anything we could ever imagine. He sees the full scope of our lives, and his timing aligns with his perfect will for us, and you have to trust it. When we trust his timing, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities beyond our limited understanding. Because God has no limit, he has no ceiling, he has no bounds. We release the pressure of trying to make things happen on our own and embrace, y'all, we have to embrace the peace and joy that comes from surrendering to God's bigger and greater plan for our lives, okay? Woo! Jesus. So, a lot of people ask me a few questions, and I want to answer a few. How can we find peace in the storm and escape depression when we're waiting on God? And my answer is, it starts with trusting God's timing. It starts with surrendering our control and leaning on his wisdom, not ours, not what we think should happen. Because a lot of times we're moving and we're making moves and we're doing things and we're not consulting God because it's working out for us in this physical realm. But there's going to come a time where something is out of your control. And the only way that it can be under control is if God is in it. It's the only way. So it starts with acknowledging that even in our darkest moments, God is with us. That's where it starts. He's with me. He's working behind the scenes, and he'll never leave me, and he'll never forsake me. And that's what I lean on, okay? So that's how you escape it, and that's how you start to trust it. So if you're struggling with deep depression, I also encourage you to seek help, and that's what I'm here for. I'm a certified life coach, and you can reach out to me, and I can guide you through these challenging seasons. And remember that there is no shame in asking for help. And you don't have to face it alone because I am here. Okay? So in addition to seeking help, finding peace in a storm involves nourishing your spiritual being. And like I said in my meditation yoga time, that is my spiritual practice. And if you don't have that, it's time to cultivate and start to create a space for you to tap into God every single day. Okay? And that will help you trust God's timing on a deeper level. Because I'm telling you, the way he spoke to me this morning was crazy. And I'm still emotional about it. So you have to prioritize your relationship with God. Set aside time each day to connect with him through prayer, meditation, reading, journaling, his word, whatever you need to do to get to God, do it. The more we invest in our spiritual lives, like we invest in everything else, the more we develop a more intimate understanding of God's faithfulness to us. We're not, how do I say this? We're not worried as much. Because the truth is, we worry when that bill need to be paid and we ain't got it and we waiting on God to make a move, right? If we develop that relationship in those quiet times, when trouble happens, we're resilient, we're wise, and we can quickly go back into ourselves and go, God is with me. And God even dropped the words, I'm with you. I ain't leaving you. That's my promise. And I'm keeping it. And my timing is perfect. I got you. And what you want right now, you might not be mature enough to take. So let me do this in the right time, because everything on this earth works at a rhythm. Everything on this earth is in timing. Us humans are the only thing that have a problem with that. The tree don't cry to God and say, I ain't got no leaves. I ain't got no apples. But summertime comes, the tree blooms with leaves and all this fruit. It's just abundant. And we should take note to that God's timing is perfect. Okay? Second, surround yourself with a community of like-minded people, believers, people who believe what you believe. Find a supportive group of friends. That could be a small group, a local church, a Bible study, a gathering of women, anything you need to where you can share your struggles and seek guidance and gain encouragement. Safe spaces, y'all. Research and ask questions. I saw a lady on Instagram say, I'm 56 years old. I don't have any friends. And I said, girl, I said, research and look up safe spaces for women that gather in your area, retreats. Anything that can get you some guidance, some support, and some encouragement to keep on moving, okay? And churches have small groups. They have prayer circles. They have everything. Go where you need to go. And remember, you don't have to walk this journey alone. And make sure you research. Let me put that out there. Make sure you research, y'all, these places that you're going to for spiritual help. Because everything might not be for you. It's a new world out here. It's a new world. So there's a lot of spirituality going on, but it might not be what resonates with you. So do the research before you walk into a room that says we're healing. Okay. And remember, you don't have to walk alone. God often works through the love and support of others, relationships, to bring healing and restoration to your life, okay? And lastly, let's practice gratitude and reflection. And that's in those moments, especially my yoga, it's like the last 5 minutes where you lay on your mat and you put your hand over your heart and you're breathing and you're remembering and you're thinking and you're allowing your emotions to be released. You're giving yourself permission to cry, to laugh, to do whatever you need to do. Practice gratitude, say thank you and reflection, and take time to reflect on the past seasons of your life and recognize how God's timing has been at work and it worked. And start to celebrate the victories, both big and small. And acknowledge the lessons learned during those waiting periods. And you got to write them down, because on your next waiting period, it may be a little less heart-wrenching, a little less stressful, when you've learned that this is building my character right here. This is building my patience right here. This is building my relationship with God. He's not after me. He ain't coming for me, and he ain't left me. He's here. Okay? So that's what we're learning in those periods. Cultivating a heart of gratitude allows us to shift our perspective from what we lack to all the ways that God has been faithful in our lives. It goes from lack to abundance quickly when we really sit back and think about it. So trusting God's timing is not always easy, but it is a journey worth taking. Okay? And remember, in the midst of your waiting, God is working. God is working. God is working. Even, it's just like them kids, girl, because I got one. And child, I could work hard all day. I can film, I could sing, I could write, I could have clients, I could do all the things and cook dinner, bathe, brush teeth, make sure we got everything done. And guess what your child gonna say? You didn't do nothing all day. You ain't do nothing. And I'm like, I did so much behind the scenes to make sure your life is moving like it's supposed to move. But children, we are like that with God. God will be working behind the scenes and we'll act like he ain't doing nothing, and he is. So you have to see God's work. He sees your pain. He understands your struggles, and he has a beautiful plan for your life. Trusting him through the seasons of uncertainty and finding peace in the storm is possible when we lean on his strength and surrender our timelines and our plans and all the things to his divine wisdom. That's what this episode is telling us, to lean and depend on God, to not just take what we're feeling as gold, because it's God's perspective that we need to pick up. When I'm low, I'm going higher. I'm gonna think higher. I'm gonna think when my thoughts are limited, I'm breaking past that. What does God think of me? What are his promises to me? And that's what we're leaning on, okay? So we're gonna trust God's time. And thank y'all for joining me today on A Moment with Joy. I hope that this episode has inspired you to trust God's timing a little bit more. I hope that this episode allows you to find peace in the midst of life's challenges where you do not buckle, because you haven't lost. You have not lost. You're winning. You're winning. And remember, you are not alone on this journey, although it feels like it. Open up, find someone to talk to. And if you do not do that, take that time in the morning to release what you feel. And God is always with you if you forget. God is always there, and he's always bigger than any problem, any stress, any anxiety, anything that you could feel. He's bigger. Okay? So until next time, I pray that you are sweet. I pray that you are seen. I pray that you are loved. And may you find joy in every moment and trust in the beautiful unfolding of God's plan for your life. So until next time, peace.